Hello, and welcome to another Contemplative Living, where we talk about concepts to bring contemplative living into everyday life. I missed a week because I was speaking at a conference, so I got a lot to catch up on, I guess. Gosh, it looks like I'm blending here a little bit. So anyway, um, so you know, Spirit talks to me on a regular basis. Anybody who follows this podcast knows that. And one of the things that I just realized, Spirit has said to me, hold your compass true and steer a course through any turmoil, always able to come back on course. And what I get from that is to be mindful of when we're off course and to try to bring it back. And so that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. Hey, John, good morning. I'm a little late today. Started a little late. Sorry. But we want to bring it back on course. And one of the best ways to do that is being mindful. So today we're going to talk about right mindfulness. So let's get to it. Welcome to Contemplative Living, where we view contemplations for the week to have a better understanding of our spiritual paths. This is Contemplative Living with Dave Bennett, contemplations and reflective meditations. All right, so we want to stay on course, right? And we want to, live our life that way as much as we can. But a lot of times we get pulled off course. So we kind of want to focus a little bit better. And one way to really focus is using mindfulness, where you're aware and you're aware of your awareness. That sounds kind of funny, but that's kind of where it starts, is be clearly aware of all forms of feelings, sensations, pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral, and how they appear and disappear. So in the course of our day-to-day, we run the gambit. We run the gambit of emotions, and different feelings and different sensations. But to be aware, clearly aware, it's almost like our consciousness, we rise up above the circumstances a little bit with our awareness, so that we can be aware of how things, how we feel about things, and how those feelings come and go. All of that is it's important, because when we're aware of what we're feeling, whether it's good, whether we perceive things as good and bad, that's just because we're human. We go down that road way too often. But something that's pleasant or something that is unpleasant, and things that we don't really have a feeling about, that are just neutral. But to be aware of those feelings, because they affect our interactions. They affect the energy that we put out, and how we interact with each other, and how we interact with just all the things that we interact with in the course of a day. So right mindfulness is to be diligently aware, mindful, and attentive. Attentive concerning physical activities, feelings, and pursuits of the mind and ideas. So, when we have a heightened awareness, like we're talking about, when we're trying to be mindful and we have this heightened awareness, ideas may come and go. And if we're aware of our feelings, and if we're aware of the physical activities that we're doing at the time, and we're able to put these ideas into the puzzle, then we're able to see whether they're viable, or whether there's something, whether it's just, my stepfather used to always say, I got a crazy idea, but his crazy ideas always worked. They were always, right on. He did a lot of, home remodeling and things like that. And And of course, we'd run into something that's like a can of worms, and like, what are we going to do with that? And I got a crazy idea. Well, he was focused on the job. He was focused on what needed to be done. And these ideas came in, and he was able to implement it because he had that awareness. He had that sense of being present and doing what he needs to do. And we all get there. We all do it. Unfortunately, though, many times we get pulled away from that intense focus, that diligence of being aware. So, are you trapped by your experiences because you hold on to them? So here we're going to go in a little different direction here. Are you grasping? Are you holding on tightly to experiences? Because if we're aware of our emotions, sometimes we can be aware that these experiences, they don't hold us, we hold them. And sometimes we hold on to the bad and we make ourselves miserable. So you can reach freedom by just letting go, of the experiences. So, and then we have clear vision again, and we can see it clearly. It's it's a way to get through the problems, is to kind of let go, step back, take a deep breath, and then see it for what it really is. But you don't have to hold on to it. Another thing we tend to hold on to is other people's stuff. People will come to us with their issues, their problems, and a lot of times we'll start ruminating about that and holding on to that and start grasping that, making ourselves miserable, when we can be, if we step back again, take that deep breath, we can be more objective and more helpful to our friend by not grasping their stuff and bringing it into our heart, So it's better to let go, but let go with a compassionate heart. That's the way I like to look at it. And remain independent, not clinging to anything in the world. I'm just wondering, did I miss one here? No. Okay. Not clinging to the world. So this is the same idea, We can rise higher if we don't keep ourselves so grounded to the issues that are pulling us down to earth all the time. And make yourself fully alert when walking, standing, sitting, talking, and especially when remaining silent. When we're in meditation, when we're in contemplation, allow those ideas to flow past. And be aware of your feelings. Be aware of your awareness, of where your focus is. So when we're walking, we can pay attention to our breath. When we're standing in line, we can be aware of everything that's going on around us. Or when we're sitting and talking to friends, we can be fully present instead of allowing the mind to constantly wander in and out of circumstances. And when we do that, we're fully engaged. And this is what right mindfulness is really all about, is being aware and fully engaged in the present moment and understanding what we're doing. So, we still have further to go in practice and have not yet reached our goal, but we can. And that's the thing. We're human. We're going to fall down, and we'll pick ourselves up. We'll get back on the path. But this is a constant thing, and as we grow and as we mature and get older, our focus is going to change, and we have to be flexible enough to be able to go with that and to move with it, with the change, so that we can again rise above it and work with it and be mindful and attentive and compassionate and loving all at the same time. Remember what Spirit told me at the beginning of this podcast about hold your compass of love true. Hold that truth and bring that into what you're doing. So mindfulness is one skill among many on the path leading to the sensation of suffering. Because what are we doing when we're not being mindful, when we're scattered? I mean, we're creating our own chaos many times. And hi, Cindy. I'm glad you're here. And so a lot of times in this process, we create a lot of our own suffering, or suffering for others, sometimes unintentionally, because we're not being mindful, because we're not being present. We're not paying attention to our awareness, where our awareness is. And so we allow it to just kind of passionately flow into this stream of chaos sometimes, and we get carried away with it. And it's very easy to get carried away. But to approach a problem, then there's plenty of problems in the world, and plenty of problems on everybody's plates. But if we can focus, we can make a difference, and we can make some change in the world. So I invite you this week to try to tap into your awareness and look at yourself. Take some time. Rise above the circumstances. Take that deep breath. Step back and look at it. Look at it with clear eyes and let go. Don't be grasping so much. And pay attention to your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, and what you're feeling, so that you can approach something very clearly and with the best intentions. I hope you have a blessed week. Namaste.